So we're continuing and picking straight up from PDF page 13, if that's the version you're working off of from last Monday's meeting. And so thanks to everybody for your flexibility. We're just going to jump right into the trust fund agenda. The meeting is held in accordance with the exemption to the public in-person access requirement of the open meetings law in response to COVID-19. The meeting is open to the public by conference call and being recorded and transcribed. I will ask for a motion and a second to open the meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved. It's Ken.
Great. And a second?
It's Chris. Second, it's Chris.
Thank you. All in favor of opening this meeting?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
And I think that was unanimous, but were there any nays? No nays. We'll take that as unanimous. Thank you. We'll use these first and seconds as we go through the meeting. The meeting is now open. Chairman.
Thank you so much. If I'm in the right spot from last week, it's page 13, item 1 in my outline.
It is. So we're starting right with the trust fund board meeting, and my outline is midway through the page.
Okay, this is where are we? Let's see here. How about item 1, transcript of the meeting held April 14th? So but this is about, we're doing the minutes first. Is that
Perfect.
Is that what you have?
That's perfect.
Oh, we're in the same spot. What a good way to start a Monday morning, kick off a new week by actually both of us being literally on the same page. Hey, everybody. Item 1 of our HTFC meeting today, held over because of the long agenda we had last week, is the transcript of the meeting held on April 14th. It shall be deemed approved unless any members or directors have corrections that they want to have noted. Anybody have anything to say about those minutes? Okay, great. Item 2 are the awards that were previously presented and approved with the HFA agenda. So we saw that earlier or last week. Item 3, a resolution authorizing awards selected from the multifamily finance 9% low-income housing tax credit requests for proposals. Now, this is last week, but some of our team may have changed. Brett was going to do this item. Is Brett available this morning to walk us through it?
I am. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Chairman.
Sure. Thank you.
We are seeking the board's approval of 8 projects awarded in December 2021 pursuant to our 9% summer 2021 multifamily RFP. These awards are over $37 million in loan subsidy and will contribute to the development or preservation of 400 units of housing with a combined total development cost of over $162 million. There is a chart in your memo. I'll just briefly highlight each project in the interest of time. The first is Home Leasing's Clinton Avenue Apartments, which is a 62-unit revitalization of several vacant and condemned properties and an adaptive reuse of a vacant historic school building along Clinton Avenue in Albany. Realize I'm going quickly, but please stop me if you have any questions. Next is Housing Visions Consultants. The name of the project is Landing at Burke Meadows. It's in the village of Cazenovia, Madison County. This is a 49-unit multi-site integrated supportive housing project, which includes four unit townhouse style buildings for 16 units and one 33-unit two-story accessible building for seniors. 10 of the units will be set aside for various homeless populations. Next is Rochester Housing Authority's Federal Street and Scattered Site project. It's actually the name of it. It's a 53-unit project in total. It's kind of a multifaceted, multi-site project on 25 sites in Rochester. It involves the demolition of several blighted and vacant buildings and infill construction of 2 low-rise multifamily buildings, as well as 24 scattered sites involving the demolition of new construction and replacement of units and substantial rehab of 31 other units. It's part of a Rochester Housing Authority's rental assistance demonstration conversion through HUD and is financially supported by the city of Rochester. Next is Regan Development Corporation's 206 Smith Street, which involves new construction of a 31-unit integrated supportive housing project on an infill lot in the village of Freeport, Nassau County. Will serve a range of income bands and includes 10 units set aside for individuals and families who are homeless and who have a serious mental illness. Next is Wilder Balter Partners Dromore Apartments, which is a 45-unit new construction project in the town of Greenburgh, Westchester County, which will provide opportunities for income levels ranging from 40 to 70% AMI in a suburban high-performing school district. Next is Kearney Realty and Development's Hamlet at Carmel. This is a 75-unit new construction housing opportunity project in Carmel, Putnam County. Again, income levels being targeted here are from 30 to 90% of AMI. The next is Providence Housing and Park Grove Realty's Bryant School project, a 35-unit adaptive reuse and expansion of a former elementary school in the city of Hornell, Steuben County. It's an adaptive reuse of a school located in a walkable neighborhood with access to public transportation. And finally is CDS Monarch State Street Apartments, which will convert a vacant warehouse into 46 units, which is an integrated supportive housing project located in the city of Olean, Cattaraugus County. 14 of those units will be set aside for survivors of domestic violence and supported by ESHI subsidies. I realize that was very quick. Folks have any questions or comments?
Thank you, Brett. Questions or comments for Brett on any of the projects?
I just need to recuse myself from a number of them.
Thanks, Sadie.
Which, do you mind if we ask which ones and maybe
Of course,
pull those out if we need to?
the Regan development deal,
Okay.
the Wilder Walter deal,
Mm-hmm.
and the Ken Carney deal.
Okay.
I think that's it. Is that it, Alex?
Yep. So I think we have, as you know, we have a requirement of 6 board members for a vote on this. We need Sadie's vote. We've reviewed at Sadie's request the agency's code of conduct and its guidance, and it provides for situations where subject consultation with counsel, which Sadie has done, the requirement of full recusal can be waived, and we're going to waive it in this instance for these votes because Sadie's vote is required in order to meet the affirmative vote, and she is voting with the majority. In fact, she is voting. This is a unanimous vote, I'm assuming. All other members and directors, assuming they vote unanimously, and in that situation, we are authorized under our code of conduct to waive recusal upon disclosure to counsel, which he has done. So assuming that the vote is unanimous, our advice to Sadie is that she does not need to recuse herself.
Great. Thank you so much. So
Thank you, Alex. I know you both were emailing about that extra effort to make sure Sadie can participate appropriately. And thanks, Sadie, for your patience with that. I'm sorry, Yuting, back to you.
Sure. Now before the HTFC members is a resolution that was transmitted in connection with this item. Assuming the first and seconds as previously submitted, all in favor of adopting this resolution, please say aye.
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 Thank you. And that was unanimous. The motion is carried.
Great. Thank you. And thanks, Brett. And congratulations to all the recipients of credits. Before we move on to item number 4, I think we all are curious to know where the commissioner is heading. We see her on the road going off to some event, probably to stick a shovel in the ground or cut a ribbon or something wonderful. Ruthann, good morning. How are you and where are you heading?
Good morning. I'm well. I'm not actually going anywhere interesting at the moment. I'm just transporting myself across the island of Manhattan so I could be on this board meeting after kid drop off because my husband has COVID.
Oh, got it. I see. Husband has COVID, so you choose to quarantine in the office with your colleagues.
Yes, exactly.
All right, you can close the door. I also will note for the record that as New York State debates post-COVID, the possibility of a remote work policy for state employees, evidence of said policy would be the image of your screen of that conference room table, chairs askew, nobody there. We have some remote work going on. That's what it looks like in CUNY when we talk about remote work. Let's go to number 4, a resolution authorizing an award increase under the Low Income Housing Trust Fund program for Hope House 2016. We're going to go back to Brett.
Thank you, Chairman. As indicated, this is a request for approval by the board to increase a housing trust fund award in the amount of $218,000 for the Hope House project. The developer is Lieutenant Colonel Matt Urban Human Services Center of Western New York. It's a 27-unit supportive housing project located in Buffalo. which experienced a number of cost overruns and delays during construction, and as well as a downward adjuster in historic tax credit equity, leaving a gap in financing. The developer did secure additional financing, which is insufficient to cover the gap, and in accordance with our capital programs manual and board policy, the request does exceed 10% of the original award, so we're requesting board approval for it. The increase of $218,000 would raise the Housing Trust Fund award to $1.494 million, which we think will resolve this gap and allow it to close on permanent financing.
Okay, great. Thanks, Brett. Everybody okay with that? Any questions for Brett? Makes sense. I think, do the honors, please, Eugene.
Now before the members is the resolution that was transmitted in connection with this item. All in favor of adopting this resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Thanks. I'll take that as unanimous. The motion is carried.
Number 5 is a resolution authorizing an award under the Access Program for Kingston Legacy City, and Burke Blackman is going to present this item, I think.
Thank you, Chairman Adams. Yes, this is Burke Blackman. This is a request for $600,000 in funding from the Legacy City Access Program. Legacy City Access is a newer HTFC homeownership program that's focused on communities and buyers who historically have experienced lending discrimination and lack of access to resources. The program is designed for land banks and municipalities working with primarily minority developer partners to renovate vacant and abandoned properties into home buyer opportunities for families at 80% AMI and below. The proposed project is a partnership between the Kingston Land Bank and Meta Construction, a certified MBE contractor, to rehab 4 single-family homes in Kingston. The Land Bank and Meta worked successfully together on a recent home buyer gut rehab completed last year, not under the program. Upon completion, these 4 homes will be sold at an average sales price of $217,000, well below market in Kingston and affordable at less than 80% AMI. Buyer qualification and home ownership counseling will be provided by Pathstone and Hudson River Housing. TDC is a little over $1.9 million. Project financing includes a construction loan from CPC in the amount of $867,000, which will be repaid from the sales proceeds. This project is also leveraging a $500,000 grant from the Novo Foundation. And upon sale, a lien in the amount of the Legacy City subsidy will be placed on each home to ensure a minimum 10-year term of affordability. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions anyone might have.
Thanks, Burke. Any questions for Burke? I'll point out that something like 5 years ago when I joined this board, Ruth Ann used to talk about land banks, land banks, land banks. I said, it's never going to happen, never going to. Now I think every time we have a deal like this, I say, whoops, Ruth Ann was right. These have to be really very much.
I will say that it hasn't been easy, but it is definitely happening.
It's great. Just great to see. Let's do.
I have the same, Ken, I have the same issue on this. So Alex, I just want to put it out there because CPC is the lender, but I think the same rule applies relative to the vote.
Yes, Sadie, and we'll apply the same, assuming everyone votes in the affirmative, we will waive your recusal.
Great.
That'll all be appropriately documented in the minutes of the meeting, right, Alex? You know, Sadie's recusal.
Yes.
So it's really clear,
yes,
just for the record. Great.
Yes.
Let's make it the new thing.
Yeah, assuming, now before the members is a resolution that was transmitted in connection with this item. Assuming the same first and seconds as previously submitted, all in favor of adopting this resolution, please say aye.
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 Thank you. The motion is carried.
Thank you very much. Number 6 is a resolution authorizing awards under the CDBG Economic Development and Micro Enterprise Program. And as I think is our tradition, Crystal presents this. Good morning, Crystal.
Good morning. HCR makes $10 million in community development block grant funds available on an open round basis for economic development activity. We award funds throughout the year to units of local government to assist businesses that propose the creation or retention of jobs for low and moderate income individuals. This month, the Office of Community Renewal is recommending 3 awards totaling $1.1 million in CDBG funds. These 3 awards are expected to leverage another $1.1 million in private investment and create more than 60 full-time equivalent jobs. The projects include funding for the City of North Tonawanda to assist Canalside Harbor LLC with furniture, fixtures, and equipment to expand operations of a bar and restaurant, and funding to the City of North Tonawanda and Cortland County to establish local microenterprise grant programs. The Office of Community Renewal requests approval to award CDBG funds and enter into grant agreements with the City of North Tonawanda and Cortland County. I'm happy to answer any questions the members of the board may have.
Thanks, Crystal. Any questions for Crystal on these awards, proposed awards?
Okay. Now before the members is a resolution that was transmitted in connection with this item, assuming the same firsts and seconds as previously submitted. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you. The motion is carried.
Number 7 is another item Crystal will present. It's a resolution authorizing awards under the CDBG CARES program, which is for COVID-19 related assistance. What's this one, Crystal?
Thank you. HCR is administering $127 million in community development block grant funding made available through the CARES Act. This month, the Office of Community Renewal is recommending awards totaling $18,130,339 for 13 applicants. As I noted last month, HCR modified its action plan with HUD last fall to take advantage of flexibility offered to administer CARES funds directly and through the use of non-for-profit subrecipients. This month's recommendations include awards to typical units of local government, a direct administration project, and non-for-profit subrecipients. The projects include awards to Community Services Programs, Inc. in Wappingers Falls and Putnam County Housing Corporation to make improvements in senior housing facilities, an award to Suffolk County to make farm worker housing safety improvements, awards to Hunger Free America, the Salvation Army Empire State Division, and Unity House of Troy for public nutrition outreach and vehicles to support food deliveries in low and moderate income communities, an award to the City of Kingston to support its mobile mental health response team, an award to Monroe County to support its small business assistance program, and an award increase for the prior small business assistance award to Schoharie County. And finally, funds to be directly administered in partnership with the Governor's Office of Storm Recovery to support health and safety housing improvements in Mount Vernon. In conjunction with these CDBG CARES awards, we are recommending approval of award of regular CDBG funds for 3 projects. These are projects that meet the requirements of the New York State CDBG program, and award using these prior year CDBG funds will allow HCR to reach more CDBG CARES proposals. These are projects proposed by the City of Fulton, Village of Curious Joel, and Village of Walcott for fire station and medical center improvements. These awards together will bring our CDBG CARES commitments to over $91 million. The Office of Community Renewal is requesting board approval to enter into grant agreements, amend grant agreements with communities and non-for-profits listed. Happy to answer any questions from members of the board.
Crystal, just if I may, a quick question for me, which is, generally speaking, how are we doing at getting the CARES, the CDBG CARES funding out the door? You know, often when there's a big federal program like this that runs across the country and goes through state and local government, you know, they're scrutinized, right? We can be scrutinized for how efficiently and how quickly we distribute the funds. In your view, how are we doing?
I think we are in very good shape committing the funds. The drawdown of funds has been slow, but it's picking up pace. So we are close to 80% committed on the funding at this point. So with more awards now made and contracts underway, the spending rate will pick up significantly.
Great, great. Thank you. I'm sorry, I should have waited. Other members and directors who have questions for Crystal about this? These are important awards. All right, well, let's make them happen. Thank you. Thanks, Crystal.
Now before the members is a resolution transmitted in connection with this item. Assuming the same firsts and seconds as previously submitted, all in favor of adopting this resolution, please say aye.
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 Thank you. The motion is carried.
Thanks, Eugene. 8 is a resolution authorizing an extension of a contract for housing quality standard inspections for the Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program, and Dan Byer will present it.
Morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, good. Hi, Dan.
Great. So we have 2 contracts or 2 contract issues before the board today. This is the first one. HCR outsources its inspections in New York City to CVR, who has been providing the bulk of them for a number of years under a 5-year contract. We did not have a chance to rebid this year due to the larger local administrator RFP, but we do intend on doing so next year. But to ensure continuity of services, we are proposing to extend this contract for 1 year and maintain inspections in New York City.
Sounds
Any
good.
questions?
Hearing none, Yuting can make it real.
Now before the members is a resolution transmitted in connection with this item, assuming the same first and seconds as previously submitted. All in favor of adopting this resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion is carried.
Number 9 is a resolution authorizing an amendment of the Section 8 Housing Voucher Choice Program local administrator contract with CVR Associates for mobility services. Again, back to Dan.
Okay. Same contract for different county. As many of you know, we've operated a mobility program in Westchester County for many years. It's among the oldest in the country. It was previously run by a separate nonprofit, but that nonprofit went out of business a few years ago. So we added this as a new contract to our existing local administrator in Westchester County, which happens to be CVR. Prior to the LARFP, we were doing this as a separate contract on 1-year renewals. But CVR has shown great outcomes and made great strides in this program since they've been running it. The LARFP allows this as a scope item, so we are going to amend the LA contract that was just awarded pursuant to the LARFP for CVR, and this will allow us to make the mobility program coterminous with their larger LA contracts. So, short, it gives the staff there a little bit more stability than a year contract would, and provides for funding for 5 years.
Very good. Thank you. Any questions for Dan about this?
Now before the members is a resolution that was transmitted in connection with this item, assuming the same first and seconds as previously submitted. All in favor of adopting this resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion is carried.
Thanks, everyone. Number 10 is a resolution authorizing contracts for staffing services in connection with the Homeowner Assistance Fund program, and we're going to go to our HR expert, Lisa, for this.
Good morning. Relying on HFA's RFP process and as permitted by the corporation's procurement guidelines, HTFC established a pre-qualified panel of the 15 staffing firms identified in the memo and requests authorization from the members to enter into contracts with any staffing firm on the panel for the provision of mortgage assistance processing specialist consultants to complete the necessary tasks in connection with the New York State Housing Assistance Fund program. The New York State HAP program has received over 30,000 applications, of roughly 75% of them are for mortgage arrears. As these cases are moving through the process, there are a number of cases that require escalation with the bank or mortgage company. To expedite this process, a small team is needed to further contact each applicant. This team is comprised of consultants from the staffing firms on the panel. And the team will work with the agency's HAP team to resolve cases in a timely manner. At this time, authorization from the members for contracts with staffing firms on the pre-qualified panel for the provision of the staffing services for the HAP program is being presented for approval for a 1-year period in an aggregate not to exceed amount of $350,000 for total expenditures among all firms on the panel, and all expenditures under the contracts will be paid from federal funds.
Thank you. Thanks, Lisa. Very helpful. And any questions for Lisa on this item? All right.
Great. Thank you. And for those of you who have not met Lisa, Lisa Pagnozzi is our Chief Procurement Officer across all of the agencies. So Lisa, thank you for joining us for that. Now before the HTFC members is a resolution that was transmitted in connection with this item. All in favor, assuming the same first and seconds as previously submitted, all in favor of adopting this resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion is carried.
Great. Thank you, Ting. Thank you, Lisa. And forgive me for giving you an extra job doing HR, but you probably could do that too. Our procurement expert is noted for the record. Anyway, next we've got number 11, and it's a resolution authorizing a contract extension with Mark Anthony Architecture PC for residential design services. And this is going to Nanika Shaw for her to present it to us.
Good morning. GOES are seeking a one-year contract extension with Mark Anthony Architecture for residential contract services. We're bringing this before the board because contracts being extended past 5 years without a new RFQ process require board approval. We have identified a need for these contracts without the RFQ process due to the COVID-19 impact on project delays, the timeliness and costs associated with another RFQ process, and the quality of service currently being offered by this vendor.
Very good. And any questions for Nanika on this?
Great. Now before the members is a resolution that was transmitted in connection with this item. Assuming the same first and seconds as previously submitted, all in favor of adopting this resolution, please say aye.
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 Thank you. The motion is carried.
Terrific. Number 12 is a resolution approving seeker classifications, and Heather Spitzberg will present this item.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm recommending the board classify 2 projects as unlisted actions and that negative declarations be made pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, otherwise known as SEEKR. The 2 projects today are the Bryant School in the city of Hornell and 206 Smith Street in the village of Freeport, both of which Brett presented earlier. If any additional details are needed about the SEEKR review, I'm happy to provide them. No unaddressed adverse environmental impacts were found for either of these projects. And so at this time, I recommend both projects be classified as unlisted actions and negative declarations be made pursuant to SEEKR.
Thank you very much.
And we will move on this item. I'm sorry, Chairman, there's a missing step here in the notes. But now before the HTFC members is a resolution that was transmitted in connection with this item, assuming the same first and seconds as previously submitted. All in favor of adopting this resolution, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. The motion is carried.
Thanks for catching that, Eugene. We do need to approve that resolution. I note that if our friend and colleague Joyce Miller were here, I know she would just be hammering Heather with questions, as she always does on environmental. Joyce has a conflict; she couldn't join us. So Heather, you got an easy presentation today. You got a friendly audience. The remainder of the items are informational, and we don't do presentations on them unless any members would like to. And you've seen them in the materials. They are, 1, a review of the Clean Energy Initiative Program, a review of SEEKR concur actions. Those don't require us to vote on them individually. A review of SEEKR Type 2 actions, a review of Datros Inc. contract extension, authorizing resolution revision, and a review of agency procurements and contracts in the lobbying restricted period, something we do at every meeting. So let me pause to see if anyone has any questions about these items in the materials. If there aren't, then I get to do this. There being no further items for HFA, AHC, and the HTFC boards, nor for the Finance and Program Committee. It says here, Alex, but I would rather have you, Ting, ask for motions and seconds to adjourn the meetings. Okay, Alex, you can do it.
No, just kidding. Go ahead, you.
Sorry, I realized I was on mute anyway. I was halfway through the adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn the HTFC meeting?
So moved. It's Ken.
Great. And a second?
Second, D.
Thank you. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll take that as unanimous. Thank you very much. The meeting is adjourned. So in June, our next meeting is separate from the HFA and Sunny May meetings. It's at the end of June. Our auditors will be joining us. We will try to make that meeting as efficient as possible. The one document we would request for you to complete before that meeting is the board evaluations, which Lillian will be circulating shortly. So thank you to Lillian for coordinating that, and thank you to the members for your time, not only today, but also completing the evaluations and for your commitment altogether. So thank you.
Thank you very much for your great work today, getting through this sizable agenda in 30 minutes. Great job. And thanks, Alex, for being there as well. And obviously Ruth Ann and the team. And again, just once more to everybody, to our members and directors for doing this special session this morning, because we kind of ran over last time. And if it weren't for a problem with my schedule where I had a hard stop after the first 2 hours, I sort of feel like it's my fault we didn't finish up the other day. So
It's okay.
I appreciate everybody's flexibility in doing this morning. Ruth Ann, anything else for the good of the order, or are you ready to dismiss, say class dismissed?
I would just echo the same. Thank you, everybody, for getting on today. It was really important to us to get a bunch of these things approved in this month. So appreciate it. And we'll see you in June.
Great. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.
Thanks.
Everyone, bye-bye.
Thanks you. Thanks again. Bye-bye.